The alien stood frozen. Its three eyes flickered with disbelief. This cannot be true. Its voice was low. It repeated the thought again. Humans cannot have railguns. Captain Lin paced back and forth across the sleek steel bridge of the Starbreaker. She glanced at the alien prisoner. Her gaze was cold. "You seem surprised." The alien twitched. Its long fingers clutched the edge of the holding chamber. "Railguns are forbidden by the conquered. The use of such technology is a direct violation of interstellar law." Lin stopped pacing. Her boots clanged against the deck. Her voice was sharp. "You invaded our colonies. You burned our settlements. You took our people. And you expect us to fight with sticks and stones." The alien hesitated. Its pale green skin shifted to a darker hue. This was not part of the plan. Lin smirked. Of course it wasn't. That's what happens when you underestimate humans. The Starbreaker hummed as its engines powered up. The crew moved with precision. Every officer was alert. The battle wasn't over yet. Outside the viewport, the remains of the alien fleet drifted through space. Wreckage sparkled like dying stars. Lin turned to her second-in-command. "Status report." Commander Yara straightened. "Most enemy vessels are neutralized. A few are attempting to retreat." "Should we pursue them?" Lin thought for a moment. "No. Let them run, but track their trajectory." "I want to know where they're going." Yara nodded. "Understood." The alien prisoner spoke again. "This act of aggression will bring the wrath of the Concord upon you. Humanity will not survive the retaliation." Lin approached the holding chamber. Her voice was low. Her tone was sharp. "Humanity has been surviving for centuries. We fought wars long before we reached the stars, and we don't lose." The alien leaned back. Its confidence wavered. The humans were unpredictable, dangerous. Lin turned to her crew. "Set a course for Earth. Prepare for debriefing." The Starbreaker's engines roared. The ship surged forward. The battle was over, but the war had just begun. The journey back to Earth was quiet. The crew of the Starbreaker worked tirelessly to repair the minor damage sustained during the battle. Lin stood on the bridge, her hands clasped behind her back. Her mind raced with thoughts of what was to come. The alien prisoner sat silently. In its containment field, it watched the humans with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Their resilience was unlike anything it had ever encountered. Earth came into view. The blue and green planet shimmered against the void of space. Lin felt a pang of relief. Home always carried a sense of security. As the ship descended into Earth's orbit, Lin addressed her crew. She stood tall. Her voice was steady. "We have achieved a victory today, but this is only the beginning. The Concord will retaliate. They will not accept defeat easily. We must be ready for what comes next." The crew responded with a resounding affirmation. Their loyalty to their captain was unwavering. The Starbreaker docked at a massive orbital station. Lin and her team disembarked. They were greeted by Earth's high command. General Marcus stood at the forefront. His expression was grim. He motioned for Lin to follow him to the briefing room. The room was filled with military leaders, strategists, scientists. Lin took her seat. The atmosphere was tense. General Marcus began to speak. "Captain Lin, your mission was successful, but the use of railguns has drawn attention. The Concord is already mobilizing their forces." Lin met his gaze. Then, "We must prepare. Humanity cannot afford to show weakness." A scientist spoke next. His voice was calm but urgent. "The railgun technology gives us an advantage, but the Concord's fleet is vast. They will adapt. We need something more." Lin leaned forward. Her tone was firm. "What do you suggest?" The scientist hesitated. "There is a prototype weapon, something beyond even the railguns. But it has never been tested." General Marcus frowned. "The risk is too great. If it fails, we could lose everything." Lin shook her head. "If we do nothing, we lose anyway. Give me the prototype. I will make it work." After a moment of silence, Marcus nodded. Very well. The weapon will be installed on the Starbreaker. Captain Lin, you have command of this mission. Lin stood. Her voice carried determination. I will not let humanity fall. But Starbreaker was equipped with the new weapon. Its name was ominous. The Singularity Lance. A weapon capable of collapsing space-time in a localized area.
Lin gathered her crew. She explained the mission. The Concorde's main fleet was amassing near the Orion Nebula. Their goal was clear: total annihilation of Earth's forces. The Starbreaker launched once more. Its course was set for the Orion Nebula. The crew was tense, but they trusted their captain. As they approached the nebula, the Concorde fleet came into view. Hundreds of ships, their massive forms blotted out the stars. Lin addressed the crew. This is it. Humanity's survival depends on us. We will not fail. The Starbreaker engaged the enemy fleet. Its railguns fired with deadly precision, but the Concorde's numbers were overwhelming. Lin ordered the Singularity Lance to be prepared. The weapon required immense power. The ship's systems strained under the load. The alien prisoner watched in awe. The humans were relentless. Their defiance was unmatched. The Concorde's flagship loomed ahead. It was a massive vessel, bristling with weapons. Lin knew it was the key to victory. The Singularity Lance was ready. Lin gave the order. Fire. A beam of energy erupted from the Starbreaker. It tore through space-time. The Concorde flagship was caught in the blast. Its massive form began to collapse. The surrounding ships were pulled into the vortex. The Concorde fleet panicked. Their formation broke. Lin seized the opportunity. She ordered her crew to press the attack. The battle raged on, but the tide had turned. The Concorde's fleet was decimated. The survivors fled into the depths of space. Lin stood on the bridge. Her voice was steady. The battle is over. Humanity has prevailed. The crew erupted in cheers. Their victory was hard-earned. The Starbreaker returned to Earth. Lin and her crew were hailed as heroes. The Concorde's defeat sent a clear message. Humanity would not be conquered. Lin knew the war was not over. The Concorde would regroup. But she was ready. Humanity was ready. As she looked out at the stars, Lin felt a sense of pride. They had achieved the impossible. They had defied the odds.
And they had won!